Can I recommend buying this Malin figure today? I would say this is difficult to recommend. Hi and welcome back to the channel. Today I have another scale figure review. 1x6 scale Malin from Azur Lane made by Alter. Well, this was another panic purchase which I did mention in my figure haul video like 3 weeks ago. This figure was released back in April 2024 I mean, which wasn't too long ago, just a few months ago. And then, on a casual day, browsing Ami and Amazon Japan and so on, I was shocked to see this figure going for 30 plus to 40 plus thousand yen brand new in Amazon Japan, and I knew that I needed to act. I am normally not an Azur Lane figure collector, though they do have a few characters that I am very interested in, and Malin is definitely one of them for very obvious reasons. If you watch this channel for a while, you know that I love my lollies. Another recent check, which was just a day ago, she was going for 30,000 yen used, pre-owned in Ami, so that says a lot. So I went over to Taobao once again to save my ass, and they did save my backside over there because I found one for about 1,075 Chinese yuan, which is a tad bit more expensive than the official MSRP asking price of about 20,000 yen. 1,075 Chinese yuan should be around 21 to 22,000 yen, but hey, a 1,000, 2,000 yen premium, it is not a tough pill to swallow. And at 1x6 scale, she is standing at, well, including the base all the way to the top of her ears, 32 centimeters. That is tall, 32. But if you remove the base, she goes down to 28, which is indeed in 1x6 scale territory when you consider that this is a short character to begin with. So this looked like a very simple figure at first glance, but when you read the instruction sheet, you'll start sweating. That was my experience during the unboxing process. So firstly, this is what her box looks like. Outer and their transparent boxes. I love it. Very nice. And even though they look very nice, they don't protect the figure very much, but I received it in good shape, so there's that. In the instruction sheet, there is this very specific notice on being careful when exchanging her faceplate over here. You need to take off this entire twin tail over here from the back, and it is sitting very close to this butterfly shaped pin on her back. And initially when I was doing it for the first time, doing the unboxing and haul video, it felt okay. And then when I'm filming the B-rolls, the close-up videos for today's review, I exchanged her faceplate for the second time because I need to film both. And I started to feel how dangerously close I was about to accidentally break something. So yes, do take extra caution when you are exchanging the faceplates. I don't see myself ever doing it again. I am going to stick to this default faceplate, which is the one printed over here. This one, where she isn't smiling. There is something special about this face expression where she is not smiling. Otherwise, the rest of the figure is very easy to assemble. Just plug the figure into the base and that is about it. As for the stability of this figure, I think she's okay. I don't expect her to be the most stable thing in the world because she is standing on one leg, but surprisingly very sturdy. This is a lot more sturdy than I thought, even though there was only one single metal foot peg, square shaped peg which goes in deep. Moving on to the sculpting, this is actually the main reason why I bought this figure. I like her face and the sculpt of her body overall compared to the Any-Game version. The thing is, while I may like lollies, I like slightly curvy lollies, if you get my point over here. So if I were to bring up the picture of the Any-Game version, like, that is literally washboard flat. Literally flat all the way, but Alter is carving some shape into this figure over here. You can see some body curves, some gentle body curves, and I love that so much. And then there is the face, of course, which once again I prefer the one over the Any-Game version. This is mostly subjective at this point. I think the Any-Game version is also very accurate to the character design in the game, but I just happen to prefer this one. Any-Game version, however, is a lot cheaper, like 16,000 yen. 16k only. You can find one easily today. So with the rest of the figure, if I were to compare to the official artwork on the box and whatever Alter has showed us, no problems at all in terms of accuracy. I love her face so much, and that was the only reason why I bought this Malin. Now, are there any flaws in the sculpt? Unfortunately, there is one single flaw in my copy. I don't know if this can be called a flaw, but this is not up to Altar's usual standards in their quality control, and this is only if you have a very sharp eye like I do, because I have been not collecting for a long time. So on the right side, the seam line that separates her leg with her waist over here or her hip over here, if you look very carefully, it is not a very clean seam line. As if, they did not sand the part properly, it is a bit rough. There are several possibilities for why something like this happens, but this is definitely not up to Altar's usual standards. A bit disappointing, I'm afraid. Where if I compare it to her other side over here, the seam line over here is a lot cleaner, like literally perfect. So when I compare both sides and they look ever so slightly different, I would classify this as a flaw. Yep. Not a major one, a very minor flaw, but you can't escape my eyes over here. I will notice it. So this is a bit sad. But will it make me hate this figure? Not really. I still like this figure a lot. Just that, also I have to deduct some points over here. This figure is getting a maximum 8 out of 10. Maximum. 7.5 to 8 points. Yeah. Otherwise, everywhere else, they look fine to me. No ugly seam lines or glue stains in other parts of this figure, just on the right side over here. Now, moving on to the paintwork. Normally, Malin wouldn't be a character that I like from a color standpoint, because the color on this is not quite dull. And this is bluish white color, a pale blue color. But all these color gradients over here, the shading, right? You see the center is a bit brighter, and then here you have darker blue over here. It is exactly all this paintwork, the color gradient, the shading, that makes the figure look more detailed than it actually is. Imagine a flat paintwork, like just plain blue, light blue. Yeah, the figure would look very boring and cheap. But just because they put some effort in the paintwork over here, the figure looks a lot better than I predicted it would be. Even the carrot she is holding, you can see some nice gradient work. Yeah, I love it so much. Paintwork is a lot better than the sculpting segment. I would give this an easy 8.5 out of 10. Not higher than that, because this is not a detailed figure. And lastly, a quick mention about the base over here. I mentioned that the stability is better than I expected, but as for the base design, well, I do appreciate this fluffy thing over here, which is quite common in figures, by the way. At least it is not a plain plastic disc, but it is very light and hollow. The whole figure feels a tad bit heavy, not very heavy, but a tad bit heavy. There is some weight to it, but the whole base is so lightweight. So this is a figure that is very easy to knock over. See? Yeah, I just need to put a little bit more force and she would fall over. So this is one thing to be careful about. If you knock her over, there is a risk where you might break the twin tail over here, the butterfly pins, or the carrot, or her ears, so be very careful with that. Now, can I recommend buying this Malin figure today? Well, I would say this is difficult to recommend. It is not very often that I don't recommend an Altar figure, and the reason why I am not recommending it today in September has nothing to do with the quality control over here, because it might be only my copy, but other people's copy are a bit better. My biggest issue with this Malin figure is the price, the aftermarket price. 30,000+ yen up to 40,000 yen for this? Can't justify it. No matter how much I like Malin, if my only option was 30k and up, I wouldn't have purchased this, to be honest. Try to snatch one from Taobao if you really insist on getting this one, or save some money, get the Any-Game version, which is very decent as well. Or, wait for the 1x4 by Mimeyoy, which is going to be amazing. And given that the Mimeyoy version, she is sitting, right? Sitting pose on the ground, the box won't be too big. I don't think the shipping cost will be too expensive. So that's one thing to think about. And until then, that is all for today's review of Malin 1x6 from Altar. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.